Think about the last time you laughed so hard your stomach hurt. For that brief moment, the world didn't feel so heavy, did it? That's not just laughter, it's victory. It's proof that even in the middle of darkness, the human spirit can still shine. Think about the last time you laughed so hard your stomach hurt. For that brief moment, the world didn't feel so heavy, did it? That's not just laughter. It's victory. It's proof that even in the middle of darkness, the human spirit can still shine. When we laugh, something remarkable happens in our minds and our bodies. Our stress melts away, our shoulders drop, and the tightness that we carry around without even noticing starts to loosen. That's because laughter is more than just noise. It's medicine, it's therapy, it's resilience in action. Science even backs it up. When we laugh, our bodies release endorphins, those natural feel-good chemicals that give us relief and ease. Our blood pressure lowers, our heart feels a little lighter, and suddenly the mountain we thought we couldn't climb seems just a little less steep. It's as if every chuckle, every giggle, every burst of uncontrollable laughter is nature's way of saying, you are built to survive this moment. But let's go deeper. Laughter doesn't just heal us from the inside out. It connects us to each other in ways nothing else can. Picture two strangers on a bus who suddenly laugh at the same silly thing. In that instant, the walls come down. The distance between me and you disappears, and suddenly there's only us. Humor has that unique power. It bridges cultures, languages, and differences. It teaches us that we may not share the same stories, but we can share the same joy. Think about the most difficult conversations in life, those heavy ones that feel like they might crush us. Now imagine if even a tiny moment of humor slips in. Suddenly the tension breaks, the air lightens, and what felt impossible becomes manageable. That's the gift of laughter. It reminds us that we're not alone, that together we can carry what feels unbearable. Every laugh, no matter how small, is an act of defiance against the shadows that try to follow us. It's like striking a match in the dark, not enough to erase the night, but enough to light a path. The world can be cruel. Life can hand us losses, heartbreaks, disappointments that weigh down our spirits. But laughter says, I will not be defined by this pain. It's a rebellion. A small rebellion, yes, but one that adds up every time we choose to smile instead of sink, every time we choose humor over hopelessness. People who laugh in the face of adversity aren't ignoring their struggles, they're transforming them. They're saying, I see the darkness, but I won't let it have the last word. That is the victor we're talking about. Perspective is everything, and laughter changes our perspective in profound ways. When we laugh, even at ourselves, we take the power away from fear and anxiety. Humor lets us step back and see that maybe our problems, as overwhelming as they seem, don't own us. We begin to see the absurdity and the seriousness, the humanity in our mistakes, and the hope in our despair. Have you ever noticed how laughter sneaks in during the most inappropriate moments, like a funeral or a serious meeting? It's not disrespect, it's survival. It's our inner wisdom reminding us that even sorrow cannot choke out the light completely. That small laugh is the soul whispering, you are stronger than this. And here's the beauty, laughter doesn't ask for perfection. You don't need to be a comedian, you don't need a script. Sometimes it's just about noticing the ridiculousness of everyday life. The way we trip over our own feet, the way technology fails at the worst moments, the way life never quite follows our plans. If you can learn to laugh at yourself, you free yourself. You stop waiting for the world to be perfect before you allow yourself to feel joy. That freedom is education in itself, a reminder that pain is temporary, but laughter is eternal if we let it be. The victories of laughter are not loud, they're not written in history books, but they're felt deeply in our lives. When someone battling illness finds a reason to laugh, that's victory. When a family sitting around a dinner table shares silly jokes despite the bills piling up, that's victory. When a child who's had a hard day still giggles at something small, that's victory. These are not trivial moments. They are acts of courage, acts of light. Proof that even when the world says, give up, the human heart says, not today. So every time you laugh, remember that you are doing something extraordinary. You are teaching your body to heal. You are teaching your soul to resist. You are teaching your heart to connect. And you are teaching your mind to see possibility instead of despair. You are choosing life over heaviness, and that choice is never wasted. The next time life throws its weight at you, and it will, because that's what life does, I want you to remember this, your laugh is your shield, your sword, and your victory. Do not underestimate it. Do not dismiss it. Use it. Humor helps us build stronger relationships by breaking barriers, creating trust, and uniting people across differences. Think about how awkward it feels when you walk into a room full of strangers. The silence hangs heavy, everyone guarded and certain, holding their mask tightly. Then someone cracks a simple joke, not even a clever one, maybe just something silly, and suddenly the room changes. People look up, their shoulders loosen, eyes meet, and there's a spark of connection. That's what laughter does. It tears down the walls we spend so much of our lives building. Those walls are made of fear, judgment, pride, and insecurity. Laughter smashes them to pieces in a way that no lecture, no debate, no long speech ever could. It's one of the oldest languages in human history. Before we had alphabets, before we painted our stories on cave walls, we had laughter. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to translate it. It is understood across every culture, every generation, every background. A child giggling in Tokyo, a grandmother chuckling in Lagos, a teenager laughing in New York. All of them speak the same language. And that's because laughter doesn't belong to one people or one nation. It belongs to humanity. When we laugh together, we don't see color, religion, or borders. We see humanity in its purest form, vulnerable and joyful at the same time. In education, in families, in workplaces, in communities, humor is the glue. A teacher who sprinkles humor into lessons finds that students learn more, not less. They pay attention. They feel safe. They remember. A leader who can laugh with their team earns loyalty and trust because laughter communicates, I am human, just like you. Parents who laugh with their children build bonds that no punishment or strict rule could ever replace. In those moments of laughter, love becomes visible. But laughter does more than connect. It heals relationships that have been wounded. Think of two friends who have fought and stopped speaking. The tension lingers, the silence stretches, and no one wants to take the first step. Then something funny happens. Maybe one of them drops their phone in their soup, or they both mishear the same thing. Suddenly they laugh, and in that laughter, pride gives way to forgiveness. The heart remembers why it loved in the first place. That's not accidental. That's the hidden power of humor. It doesn't erase pain, but it reminds us of the possibility of joy. Even in the darkest corners of society, humor has been a form of survival. People in prisons, refugees in camps, soldiers on the battlefield, they have always found ways to laugh because laughter is rebellion against despair. It says, we are still human, even when everything around us is trying to strip that away. It builds solidarity. When people laugh together in times of hardship, they send a message to each other. We are in this together, and together we will endure. That unity, born in laughter, is what allows communities to rise even after devastation. Think of families sitting around a dinner table after a long, hard day. The bills are unpaid, the stress is real, but one small story turns into laughter that fills the room. In that ladder, children feel secure, parents feel hopeful, and life doesn't feel as crushing. Or imagine a workplace where people grind day after day, deadlines looming, pressure mounting. The boss cracks a joke, everyone laughs, and suddenly the weight lifts. People breathe again, shoulders straighten, teamwork strengthens. Those laughs don't just feel good, they're productive. They give people the energy to keep moving forward together. Humor is also the great equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or the intern, the professor or the student, the parent or the child. A good laugh places everyone on the same level for a moment, stripped of titles and roles. That's why some of the best friendships form in the most unexpected places, because laughter doesn't care about status. It cuts through pretense and reveals the truth. Underneath it all, we're just people trying to make sense of the world. And yet too often we underestimate it. We think laughter is just entertainment, something extra we get to enjoy if we're lucky. But no, laughter is necessary. Without it, relationships wither. Without it, society hardens. Without it, hearts forget how to connect. If you want to build bridges, if you want to repair wounds, if you want to unite people, you must laugh with them. You must share in the joy that makes us human. So the next time you're with someone who feels distant, who feels like a stranger even though they're right in front of you, don't start with a serious speech or a heavy question. Start with laughter. Find the small absurdities, the light-hearted moments, the shared silliness that we all carry. Because in that shared laugh, the walls crumble, the distance fades, and suddenly you're not two separate beings anymore. You're connected. And that connection is the foundation of trust, the seed of friendship, the root of love. Every moment of laughter is a conscious act of resilience against life's challenges and negativity. Think about that for a second. When you laugh, you're not just responding to something funny. You're making a choice. You are choosing to rise above the weight pressing down on you, even if only for a moment. Life throws storms at us, storms of stress, of loss, of disappointment, of worry that keeps us up at night. And yet, even in the middle of those storms, the sound of laughter is like thunder that doesn't destroy. It heals. It's resilience expressed in the simplest and most beautiful way. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about standing up again. And laughter is one of the ways we stand up. It doesn't erase the hardship, but it reminds us that we are bigger than it. When someone laughs while they're hurting, it doesn't mean they're ignoring the pain. It means they are refusing to surrender to it. That's a powerful statement. That's the human spirit saying, yes, life has tried to break me, but I still have the ability to smile, to find joy, to push back against the darkness. Every laugh is evidence of strength, the kind of strength that textbooks can't teach and money can't buy. Think about those moments when everything feels unbearable. The bills are piling up. The relationship feels shaky. The job isn't secure. The future feels uncertain. You could sink into despair. And sometimes, yes, despair feels easier. But then unexpectedly, someone cracks a joke or something silly happens and you laugh for a brief second. That heaviness doesn't own you anymore. You've reclaimed a piece of your spirit. That tiny moment is proof of resilience. It's saying, I can still find joy, even here. Even now. That is no small thing. That is survival. Laughter teaches us perspective, and perspective is one of the cornerstones of resilience. When we laugh at something that once felt overwhelming, we shrink it down to size. We take the sting out of it. Humor transforms pain into something we can handle. Think of people who joke about their mistakes. They're not denying what went wrong. They're showing that it doesn't define them. That's resilience in action. It's a way of saying, yes, I messed up. But look, I can laugh about it. I'm still moving forward. And it's not just personal. Whole communities have relied on humor to endure hardships. In times of war, oppression, or disaster, people have always told jokes, sung funny songs, shared stories that made them laugh. Why? Because laughter gave them the resilience to face one more day. It reminded them that the oppressor, the storm, the suffering, they may be powerful, but they don't own the human spirit. Every laugh in those times was an act of courage, a refusal to be crushed. That is why comedians and storytellers are so important in difficult times. They're not just entertaining, they're strengthening the fabric of resilience in society. Even on a personal level, laughter builds emotional endurance. Life will test you, that's guaranteed. But when you cultivate the ability to laugh, you build an inner toolkit that prepares you to face those tests. Instead of crumbling at the first sign of trouble, you find a way to bend without breaking. You can say, this hurts, this is hard, but I will find a reason to laugh. And in that laugh, I will find the energy to keep going. That's what resilience really looks like. Not perfection, not constant strength, but the ability to find light in the middle of darkness. It's important to understand that resilience through laughter doesn't minimize pain. It honors it. It acknowledges the struggle while also refusing to let the struggle win. Some of the most resilient people you'll ever meet are the ones who can still laugh while facing the hardest battles. Cancer patients who tell jokes from their hospital beds, refugees who find humor in their daily struggles, single parents who make their children laugh despite financial hardship. These people aren't blind to suffering. They are warriors. Their laughter is their armor, their shield, their way of saying, I am still here. Every laugh is a victory lap for the soul. It's like planting a flag on the battlefield and saying, this ground belongs to me, not to despair. When you laugh in the face of negativity, you strip it of its power. You show that your joy is not for sale, not negotiable, not something life's hardships can take away from you. That's resilience at its purest. So the next time you laugh, really laugh, remember that you are not just enjoying a joke. You are proving something to yourself. You are proving that you can survive, that you can fight back, that you can keep your humanity intact no matter what. Laughter is not an escape from reality. It is a reminder that reality, no matter how dark, can never fully extinguish the light inside you. And every time you let that light out in the form of laughter, you are declaring victory over the shadows. And so when we stand back and look at it all, the medicine of laughter for the body, the bridge it builds between people, the resilience it stirs in our souls, we see something much greater than a simple giggle or a passing chuckle. We see a force that doesn't need armies, doesn't need wealth, doesn't need grand speeches. It needs only the courage to smile when the world tells you not to, the boldness to laugh when the darkness insists you should cry. Every laugh is a rebellion. Every laugh is a healing. Every laugh is a declaration that the human spirit cannot be crushed. So do not dismiss it as small or silly. Treasure those moments of laughter, even the quiet ones. even the ones that arrive unexpectedly. They are victories. They are the sound of life reminding you that no shadow lasts forever. No storm can silence joy completely. The next time life grows heavy, when the weight feels unbearable, remember this: you already carry within you the most powerful tool of all. It's not hidden in a book. It's not locked in some vault. It's right there, ready in your breath, waiting on your lips. Let it out. Laugh. Because when you do, you are not just surviving. You are winning. Every laugh is a victory over darkness. And those victories, small as they seem, add up to a life filled with light.